Okay, guys. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about WebGIS and the architecture of the WebGIS. Means basically what are the main components we have, which we are going to use in our WebGIS application. In our previous session, the architecture design, what we have discussed, that architecture design was basically for the generic web application and as you know, WebGIS is also the part of the normal web application. So whatever the architecture and design we are using in normal GIS application, on top of that we have some additional things which we are going to use in our WebGIS architecture. So normally, the main question was why the most of the GIS people who are already using the GIS in traditional way, means they are simply using the desktop based application, AutoCAD, MicroStation, QGIS, but why basically people are afraid about to use the WebGIS. So here the main excuse from the users are, one thing is they are afraid to use the GIS because they are thinking that GIS is very costly, and because of that reason, some companies who are working in non-GIS field, they are outsourcing the GIS work to some other companies. So like their main concern is the we cannot afford the GIS because it is very hard to learn and it is very costly also. So we work in the field, not a GIS lab, means people who are in the survey side, if you are going to teach those people as a GIS, so normally they will not ready to learn this thing quickly. Our users can't learn to use a GIS map. The normally, even in my previous projects also, when I worked with the BSNL or any telecom company, so there the people who are working in who are working in the field, they knows about the utility network. They knows about from where to where flow is going. They basically knows each and everything about the utility. But the problem is they are very afraid to use the GIS because they don't want to work in the computer and all. So these are the some problems what people have faced. So it won't work because our team is the distributed. Maybe if you will try to explain people कि we will implement the GIS so that your all the team work will be synchronized. But here the excuse was we have a team in a distributed way, means some people are sitting in Delhi, some people are sitting in Hyderabad, some people are sitting in Mumbai. So how all these work will be compiled? How all these people work we can see in one place? It's just too complicated to get set up. So for the WebGIS, people are very much basically afraid ki to set up the WebGIS, again it will be very tough task. So, but all these problems, the solution, what we are from the GIS. We are going to work as a GIS developer. So we will have the solution of all these problems. That solution is what? That solution is once we will implement the WebGIS, then your all the problems maybe will try to resolve. Because let's suppose if your team is working in many different places, so that team is easily create the data and update the data in the portal, and automatically everyone can see that particular data. So now here, what are the main characteristics we have for the WebGIS? So first thing is the WebGIS relying on advanced technology so that we can run on multiple platforms. So as you know, previously the old application or old normal web application or WebGIS application, those applications were properly working on the desktop. Those applications were properly working on the laptop, but the same application, if you will try to run on the mobile or tab, then that is basically look and feel will be changed and it will not properly visible. So because now, but now current time, we all are using the advanced technology, and in web GIS or in web application advanced technology, normally we are developing the application which will be responsive. So any application you can work with the same application using the laptop, desktop, or you can run the same application on the tab or mobile as well. Support a large number of the users simultaneously. This is another characteristics of the WebGIS. It is not depends upon one user or two user. N number of user can use your application simultaneously. Like if you have, for example, if you have ArcGIS desktop, if you have ArcGIS desktop and if you have five licenses, so at a time only five user can work. But when we are coming to the WebGIS, so that if you will have one license that you have taken for the web, then n number of users simultaneously access your application. WebGIS rely on the HTML client support different operating system. What is the meaning of this? See, one more thing again, I want to tell you what are the things we are discussing here. If you will have any question, any problem, you can basically ask me anytime, because ultimately after completion of the session, we will have the questionnaire, and all these questions are basically depends upon what are the things we are discussing in our complete session. So whenever we are asking ki WebGIS rely on the HTML client, first thing is what is the meaning of the HTML client? These all are small things. I will basically means in each session I will tell you what is the meaning of this small terminology. So whenever we are talking about the HTML client, so always remember, when we are accessing any website, doesn't matter this is a GIS or non-GIS, whatever the browser you are using, that browser, or not only the browser, if that application, if you are accessing using mobile, if you are accessing that application using tab, so what are the medium you are using to access the application, that is called a client. What that is called? That is called the client. Like you are using the QGIS, for example, you are using the QGIS. So basically you are using the desktop client or you are using the laptop client to access the QGIS application. But when we are talking about any web application or WebGIS application we are accessing with the help of the browser. That browser may be Chrome, maybe Internet Explorer, maybe Firefox, maybe Mozilla, any browser. These browser in technology, in technical term, these browser are called the HTML client. Okay. So whenever we are talking about the WebGIS, so to access the WebGIS application, we are using HTML client. Better cross-platform capability. What is the meaning of the cross-platform capability? The meaning of cross-platform capability is like, let's suppose you are developing one application and you want to run that application in Windows platform. Okay, you want to run that application in Windows platform, so definitely you can you can develop the application which will run on the Windows platform. Let's suppose your client asks you, I want to run the application in the Android. So definitely the application, if you have developed a native application, native means what? Native means if you have developed the application for Windows, then it will run only on Windows. You cannot run any other place, like Android application. If you will develop the Android application, and that you have developed using the native development, then that application you can use only where you can use only on the Android. If you have developed the iOS application, so iOS application, what you will develop, if you have used the native development, so that application you can use where you can use only on the iOS. You cannot run that application on Android, or you cannot run that application on Windows. So when you are developing that kind of, or you are using that kind of development, that development is called the native development. So let's suppose you are talking with any client. So whenever, if you want to develop an application, or if you are discussing with the client, you have to ask to the client that application what you want to develop, that application will be the native development or hybrid development. Native development means if client is going to run the application on Android and iOS, then you have to develop two different application with two different languages. One is for the Android, one is for the iOS. But when if client is telling no, I don't want two different application, I want the hybrid application. Hybrid application means single application. Hybrid application means what? Hybrid application means single application, but that application, same application you can run on the Android, and the same application you can run on the iOS. So what the benefit you will get? Can anyone tell me in which approach what benefit we will get? Can anyone please tell me what the benefit we will get in both these two approach? Normal, you can whatever you are thinking you can tell. Ki means if you are going to develop the native, if you are going for the native development, or if we are going for the hybrid development, what the difference, what the plus, what the minus point you are thinking on that? Can anyone please tell? Anyone? Means you are thinking or you're not thinking, or you means what is your opinion on this? Okay, I will make this question more easy. If you are going to develop the application, you are going to development for the Android and iOS separately. One development is going on for Android, one development is going on for iOS. And in another approach, only one development it is going to work on both the platform. Which approach is good? Which approach is good? First one, yes, second one. Okay, will I will try to make more easy. In which approach you are going to put less effort? First approach or second approach?
Second, hybrid
Second
application.
approach. Correct. In the second approach, when we are talking about the second approach, in hybrid development, the one benefit what we will get, the first benefit you will get, you no need to develop two different platform application. If you are going to develop two different platform application, maybe if Android you have changed some color, the same color you need to change in the iOS also. If you are going to change one thing in the iOS, you have to change in Android also. This is the very big problem what basically we were face when you are doing the development in the native mode. But in the if we are using the hybrid approach, so we no need to worry about that. Color is change, so that color will change in the Android at the same time that color, the same color will reflect in iOS also. So that approach is called what? That approach is called the cross platform capability. One application development is going to work in say two different platforms, easy to use for the end user. So in whenever we are talking about the WebGIS, so as you know, WebGIS application is very easy to use for the normal users, or as a layman anyone can use, compatible with the different web browser. As I told you ki whenever we are developing the WebGIS application with the latest technology, then that application you can run on any browser. There is no restriction. Unified system update. So unified system update means if we are developing the WebGIS application, and as you know, your all the client, every all the users can see your application simultaneously. If you have changed one parameter, if you have changed one value and save it, so automatically all the user will get the updated value. Offer trunky demographic data sets and image layers which allow user to access immediate context from the different applications. So basically the meaning of this is ki it will provide you the facility where quickly you can get the update, quickly you can do the update, and client or your users can immediately get the updated data. Customized dashboard with the user friendly interface. Normally in any application if you will go, so in that application we are able to see the beautiful dashboard. In that dashboard you can easily get all the basic statistics, all the insights about the application. Now after that, what are the advantages of the WebGIS we will get once we will develop the WebGIS application? So first thing is the applications, second one is the better cross-platform capability, third one is worldwide reach, support multiple user at a time, low cost as average by the number of the users, user friendly and automatic updates. What is, I think all the points is will be crystal clear to everyone because we already have discussed all these things. So whenever we are talking about the WebGIS, so WebGIS obviously this is a cross-platform capability. We no need to worry about the iOS and Android. Worldwide reach, because this is a web application, there is no restriction. You can access this application from anywhere, any part of the world. Support multiple user at a time. Once you have developed the application, there is no restriction. Is the only restriction is the bandwidth. There is no restriction from the application side, and number of user can access your application. Low cost as average by the number of users. So normally, if we are using any proprietary software, maybe ISRI, maybe any other company, so whenever sometime you want to, in some cases, whenever you want to increase the user size or whenever you want to increase something, so they want to they will charge more. But most of the cases, in most of the cases, basically you no need to pay the extra money. Because of that reason, people are very keen about the WebGIS application. User friendly, obviously, WebGIS application will be user friendly, and automatic updates means as soon as admin will update something, or any person who has authority to update some data, automatically everyone will get the updated information. After that, this thing I already basically explained you in the previous session. So normally in most of the cases, WebGIS application is we are developing in the three-tier architecture: presentation layer, business layer, and third one is the data layer. In the business layer, we will have the business layer, web services, map services. I will explain you what is the meaning of the web services and map services. Then after, in the third layer, we have the data layer, GIS data and GIS server. Because whenever we are means basically these all preparation These all discussion we are doing before going to start the development, because I want you guys will just not only know the development, you should know about the entire architecture, and to understand the architecture we have to know all this part. So here, whenever we are talking about or whenever we are developing the WebGIS application, so always remember, for publishing, when we are publishing our application, after publishing only users can access your application. So whenever we are talking about the publishing of the application, so there will be always two important servers we are using. One server is for the publishing of the application, and another server is publishing of the GIS data. Maybe you guys already heard about that. Have you heard about ArcGIS server? Have you heard about our ArcGIS server or not? Anyone heard about ArcGIS server? Hello? Okay, no problem. If you want me to just go as a one-way traffic or one-way train, then no problem. I will continue with that. So, so normally whenever we are talking about the GIS server, so where we already heard about ArcGIS server. ArcGIS server is the proprietary server. To use the ArcGIS server, we need to pay money for the licenses, but at the same time, for the open source, we will have the server Geo server. So in this course, we are going to get knowledge for the Geo server. Okay. So here in WebGIS architecture, there are three layers we have, or three tier architecture: presentation layer, business layer, and third one is what? As you know, third one is the data layer. Now, because this is the full stack development course, so when we are talking about the full stack development course, so what are the languages? What are the language we are going to learn in this entire course to make this as a full stack development? So first one is the, as you know, there are three tier architecture. So presentation layer, business layer, and data layer. So in presentation layer means where what user is able to see, that these all things what we are developing, that will come in the presentation layer. So in the presentation layer, we are going to learn HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. And apart from that, we will learn one more very important JavaScript library, that will be the map or GIS JavaScript library. So in our course, along with the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, we are going to learn Leaflet as a GIS JavaScript library. After that, coming to the business layer. In business layer or in the middleware, we are going to learn Node.js. Okay, Node.js is basically is a very good library which basically we can use and to develop the middleware or to develop the business layer. Apart from the Node.js, you can, ऐसा नहीं है कि you can develop the middleware only with the help of the Node.js. You can develop the middleware, or you can develop the business layer using the Python, using the Java, using the C sharp. That is up to you. But in our course, we are going to learn a Node.js to develop the business layer. After that, data layer. So in the data layer, there are two main important things. One is the what database we are going to learn. So in our course, we are going to learn Postgres and PostGIS. And related to the GIS server, we are going to learn about the Geo server. It is not in very depth, but you will get the introduction of the Geo server, so that how we can how we can publish our GIS data on the geo server, and after publishing how we can use that data in our WebGIS application. Okay, now after that, as we are discussing two term very frequently, one is the website, other one is the web service. As a layman, just understand one thing. There are two important terminology. Website means any website what you are using, what you are developing, that will come under what? That will come under the website. Website you can run in the browser. Once you run the website in the browser, you are able to see some user interface. You will get some colorful page, you will get some button, text box. There are some component you can see whenever you are accessing any website. At the same time, when we are talking about the web service or GIS web service. Okay, anything, either web service or GIS web service. In both the cases, first of all, if you will use GIS service or web service, so it is not what? It is not the website where you will hit and it will give you some colorful page. This will give you information from where? From the server. Whatever the information you want to get from the server, this web service or GIS service can access the information from the server. That information it will give you, and once you will get that information using the web service, after that, that information you can show where? That information you can show on the website. So this is the difference between what? Between the website and web services. Website, we are able to see the page, we can see the button, we can see different component, we can see the colorful page. But when we are talking about the web service will give you just a textual information. It will basically give you not the colorful page, not the colorful thing, because this is not the website. This is one method, this is one methodology. Using that, we can get the information from the server, and that information we can show where? We can show on the website. Like one example, I tell you. Let's suppose you have developed one login page. Okay. For example, you have developed one login page. So login page, you are able to see the text box for the ID. You are able to see the text for text box for the password, and we are able to see one button. When you will provide ID and password and click on the button, then something will happen. It will hit the server. It will hit the server with your ID and password, and it will check in your business layer कि this ID and password is correct or not, and after that it will return you the information, and that information we are showing on the website. So basically, the process which is taking your ID and password, sending to the server, getting the data from the server, these things will be done by web service. So that web service also, it is called the REST API, REST services. These things also we are going to develop with the help of Node.js. So web service, this is not the website operation that can be called to the written information publicly available and standardized for use by all programmer and optional. Website is normally used by the normal people. Normal people can use the website and enjoy. But this web service, whenever we are talking about the web service, normally this web service is used by the developer only. This is going to understand by the developer only. But website, any layman, any man can understand, because ultimately you, whenever you will hit the website, you can see some colorful page. So this is the difference between the website and web service. Now after that, coming to there are web GIS services. This is the important for us, because ultimately we are going to show some map show some GIS data on the map. That is our main basically target. And because of that reason, we are basically saying this is the web GIS. Web, inside the web, we are going to show the GIS. So whenever we are talking about the web GIS services, then there are three categories. One is the data discovery. What is the meaning of the data discovery? Data discovery means it provide the search and discovery to the geospatial data service. Like the example, you already have all the parcel information in your database. Okay, that information have the parcel polygon shape, that information have parcel polygon area, parcel polygon ID, everything. Now when you want to get the parcel based on the ID, when you want to get the parcel based on the category, means on website you want to show all the parcels which category is residential. Okay, let's suppose we want to show the parcels where the category is what? Category is residential. So we will send the query, we will search the parcel based on the category and it will show the data. So these type of this category, this thing is comes under where? These things is comes under the data discovery. After that, once you get the data from the server, now we need some service which will show this data on the map. So that service which is responsible to display the data on the map, that service is called the data visualization service. After that, we have the data access. It will provide access on the actual database. These categories or these things comes under the data access. So we have total three category. One is data discovery. It is for the search and discovery the geospatial data. Second one is the data visualization. This category is basically is responsible to display the data on the map. And third one is the data access. It is responsible or it will provide us the access of the actual GIS data. Now, after that, coming to the next very important point, this is what? This is the type of the web GIS services. So, as I already told you, ki whenever we are working with the GIS data, so we need one GIS server. Okay, why basically we need the GIS server? You have developed one data, that data right currently you have on your machine. I have developed some data, that data I have on my machine. Someone has developed some data, that data is on their machine. Now the thing is how everyone can see everyone's data. Now, how everyone can see everyone's data or how the entire world can see your data. So always remember for this means to share your data with everyone, we need one GIS server. Once we will have the GIS server, we will publish our data where? We will publish our data on the GIS server. Once the data is published on the GIS server, after that, in entire world, anyone can access your data and see the analysis, do the analysis, show the data on the map, anything can do. This is the role of what? This is the role of the GIS server. Now, after that, as I told you, whenever we are publishing the data on the server, then everyone can access the data. When you are publishing your data on the server, so these are the four types. These are the four type of services. When you are publishing your data on the GIS server, these are the four types. Using that, you can decide you can decide in what category or in what form you want to publish your data. Okay, the first one is the WMS. web map service. What is the name of this? The name of this is web map service. What is the how, when you are publishing your data on the server, then you need to decide in which format you want to publish your data on the server. So let's suppose if you have the parcel shapefile, you want to publish this data on the GIS server, then we have two options. One is WMS and WFS. What is the difference between these two? Once you understand the difference, then you can easily understand in which form we need to publish the data. The first one is the WMS. The meaning of WMS is when you will publish your data as a WMS service, then user can only view your data. When you will publish your data on the GIS server as a WMS service, then user can only view your data. User cannot edit your data. So WMS service will provide you your data in which format? It will provide you data in the PNG, JPG, image format. User cannot edit your data means in your project, if you want to edit your data by the user, then WMS service is not good choice. If you want to just view your data, if you just want to show your data, there is no edit functionality, then we can choose which service? Then we can choose the WMS service. Now, WFS, Web Feature Service. When we are talking about the Web Feature Service, then the output of the data is the GeoJSON, JSON, KML shape. Forget about this output that we will discuss later. Currently, today you need to understand WFS and WMS. So as I explained you, WMS service is only for viewing the data. But when you are going to publish same parcel data as a WFS, it means now you can provide facility to the user so that user can edit your data. User can reshape the parcel, user can split the parcel, user can merge the parcel. So I believe you guys understood the difference between the WMS and WFS. Have you understood the difference between WMS and WFS?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the WCS and WMTS. These two services, these two services, when we are using, if you want to publish the raster data, WMS and WFS normally we are using when we want to publish our data from the vector or for the shapefile. But WCS and WMTS is specifically for the image. So when we are talking about the WCS, WCS is basically web coverage, web coverage service. When you are publishing any data, any image using the WCS, then it will provide you the complete information of the data. Means what is the metadata, when this data created, everything you will get. But when you will publish the raster data as a WMTS, Web Map Tile Service, or TMS, Tile Map Service. When you are publishing your data as a WMTS or TMS, then it will give you small images. Like if you will use the Google Map, maybe sometime you have feel this thing. Let's suppose our internet speed is very slow, and when you are searching or when we are doing something in the Google Map, so we are getting small tiles, we are getting the square tiles. So that tiles, why we are getting that tiles? We are getting because they have published the data In which format? WMTS. In WMTS or TMS, when you will publish the data in WMTS or TMS, then you will get small squares, small tiles for your data. WCS, it will give you entire data. And along with the data, it will give you some more information. So I think you guys understood about WMS, WFS, WCS, and WMTS. After that, if you will see this chart, then you will get more understanding on this. WMS, WFS, WCS, and WMTS. Purpose of the WMS is what? Provide map images. As I told you, it will WMS will provide you. This chart is very important because whenever you go for the interview, definitely people can ask you the question. Ki, there are many questions will be there in this chart. Ki WMS, what is the output format of the WMS? So output format of the WMS is what? It will give you the images, PNG, JPG, any image. WFS, it will provide you the vector data actual feature. Because of the actual feature, we are able to edit the data. In WCS, it will provide the raster data. WMTS, it will provide you what? It will provide you small tiles. Data type of the WMS is the raster map image. WFS is vector data. And output format of the WMS is PNG. Output format of the WFS is the GeoJSON, JSON, KML or shapefile. And WMS is editable? No, as I told you, WMS, when we are publishing any data as a WMS service, it means we are not able to edit. It will just for the viewing purpose. But if you want to publish your data for the editing purpose, then it will be the WFS. Speed of the WMS is medium. Speed of the WFS is slower. Speed of the WCS is also medium, and WMTS is very fast. User interaction, user can only view, but when we will come to the WFS service, in WFS, user can query, edit, download, anything user can do. What is the main use of the WMS? It will display the map on the web, and it was basically WFS is specifically for the spatial analysis and editing purpose. Example data, you can read this one. Server processing, this is the dynamic rendering, and it will be the feature querying. Best for the visualization WMS, and best for the editing and all, this is WFS service. Similarly, we have some differences in the WCS and WMTS also. So I think these all things we already have covered. This is just we have put in the proper format. So these all what I explained you, map services, and this is related to the open source. But whenever you will come to the ESRI, in ESRI we have the dynamic map service, tile map service, feature map service, image service, and vector tile. So here just the things what you have learned previously. Dynamic map service is the same WMS what we have learned. Tile map service, this is what? This is the tile map service. Tile map service is basically what? Here you cannot edit anything. This will give you data in tile format. Feature map service, this is the WFS. Okay, if you want to publish the data where user can edit, so we have to publish in which format? We have to publish in the feature map service. For the normal view purpose, we can publish as a dynamic map service. For the images, we can use the image service. And for the vector tile, this is the new format of the map service which introduced by the ESRI. That is vector tile means, as you know, WMS and WFS. WMS is basically we cannot edit anything. We cannot change the color. We cannot do anything in the WMS. WFS is for the editing purpose. So ESRI has basically introduced a new service format that is called the vector tile. Vector tile means half vector, half tile. You can edit also, you can delete also, and you can basically change the color. Anything whatever you want, you can do. So if based on your project requirement, if you want to publish a map using the vector tile, that also we can do if we are using ESRI ArcGIS server. Now after that, comparison between the WebGIS services. So WMS, this you guys already know. WMS is the raster images, WFS is the vector images. WMS query support, no. WFS query support, yes. WMS fast map rendering. WFS edit, for the editing and analysis it is useful. The file format of the WMS is the PNG. The file data format of the WFS is the GeoJSON. WCS, this is the raster grid query support. Yes, elevation, especially for the dam data and all. We are using what? WCS. The file format of the WCS is the GeoTIFF. And when we are talking about the WMTS or TMS, raster tile, I already explained you. Raster tile means small tiles you will get in the WMTS and TMS. This is best for the fast map display and the file data format is the PNG. When we are talking about the ESRI services, as I already explained you, we have means dynamic map service, tile map service, WFS, many other services are there. So because we are not going to discuss about that because we are in the open source, so we will basically work on all these five services: WMS, WFS, WCS, WMTS, or TMS. So this is basically all about what? This is all about the means WebGIS architecture. What basically we are using as a background in the WebGIS. Now I will come to the questionnaire. What we already have. Okay, so quickly you guys can unmute. And if you want to give the answer, then you can unmute and give the answer. Otherwise, because as I have seen, you guys are not interested to unmute and give the answer. So, or what I will do, I will directly share this file to in your WhatsApp group. So later on, once you will get the time, you can go through this questionnaire. Okay. So these are the questions we have that you can check later because you guys are not interested for that. So what is the main purpose of the WebGIS? Which of the following is an access excuse mentioned from the actual GIS end users? WebGIS support which capability? Which technology does WebGIS rely on the multiple platform support? One advantage of the WebGIS. Which layer contains GIS data? Which of the following is the WebGIS programming language? Which of the following is optional for the using the web services? So these all questions, what as I told you, this is related to what? This is related to the today's session. So I will upload on the group. So once you will get a chance, you can go through the this questionnaire. Okay.